The second you open your mouth to justify yourself, you have already surrendered. Picture it. The accusation lands. A sharp comment at a dinner party. A subtle questioning of your competence in a boardroom. A partner twisting your words into something unrecognizable. You feel the heat rise. The cortisol floods your veins. Your brain screams that you are being misunderstood, that the truth is being mangled, that you must set the record straight immediately. So you speak, you clarify, you justify. You offer context. And in that exact heartbeat, you have handed them your jugular. Because the world does not judge you by the accuracy of your facts. It judges you by the desperation of your delivery. To explain is to submit. To defend is to acknowledge the other person's right to judge you. Niccolo Machiavelli, the architect of power, understood a brutal reality that modern society has tried to scrub from your mind. He knew that power isn't about being right. It is about who owns the frame. And the moment you defend yourself, you step into their frame. You become the defendant in their courtroom. But what if you didn't? What if when the attack comes, you did the one thing that truly terrifies a manipulator? Most people live as emotional marionettes. They are jerked around by the strings of other people's opinions. Someone frowns, they apologize. Someone accuses, they explain. They live in a permanent state of reactive defense, begging to be seen as good, smart, or worthy. It is a slow, agonizing suffocation of the soul. But there is a different way. A way of moving through the world that is so sovereign, so psychologically impenetrable, that insults don't just bounce off, they dissolve before they even touch you. This isn't about being cold. It's about a fundamental shift in where your reality is rooted. Today we are going to dissect the psychology of the non-defense. We are going to look at why your biology betrays you in these moments, and how to override it with a strategy Machiavelli would have whispered to a prince. I will show you how to flip the power dynamic instantly, how to make the attacker doubt their own eyes, how to use silence not as a void, but as a weapon of mass destruction against someone's ego. But be warned, this requires you to kill a part of yourself that you have been feeding since you were a child, the part of you that begs to be understood, the part of you that needs permission. If you can kill that need, you become dangerous. You become untouchable. Let's begin. Why do you do it? Why is your first instinct to provide evidence of your innocence? It starts in childhood. Think back to when you were 5 years old and a parent or teacher accused you of something. What was the only way to escape the weight of their disapproval? Explanation. I didn't mean to. He hit me first. You learned that authority figures hold the gavel of judgment, and you learned that your survival depended on convincing that authority that you were good. The problem is you grew up, but your psyche didn't. You are walking through the world projecting that authority figure onto everyone you meet. Your boss, your partner, the stranger online, even your enemies. When you defend yourself against someone, you are subconsciously saying, "You are the judge. I am the child. Please accept my plea so I can feel safe again." It reeks of weakness. And humans, primal as we are, can smell that scent of submission from a mile away. Machiavelli wrote, "It is much safer to be feared than loved." Translate that to modern social dynamics. It is much safer to be respected than understood. When you rush to defend, you are prioritizing being gotten over being respected. You are saying, "Please see my intent." But a king does not explain his laws to the peasant. A lion does not explain its hunt to the gazelle. The moment you start rambling, giving reasons, showing texts, or bringing up the past to prove your point, you have signaled that your internal stability depends on their agreement. You have handed them the keys to your house, and once they have those keys, they can burn the place down whenever they feel like it. This is the trap of the validating self. You believe that if you just explain your position clearly enough, they will finally say, "Oh, I see now." You were right and I was wrong. How often does that actually happen? Almost never. Because the attack was never about the facts. It was about the power. They didn't accuse you because they wanted the truth. They accused you to see if you would jump, and you jumped. The first step to becoming untouchable is to realize that the courtroom does not exist. There is no judge. There is no jury. There is only you and your perception of reality. When you stop treating others like judges, their accusations stop sounding like sentences. They start sounding like noise. So what happens when you don't jump? Imagine the scenario. Someone throws a verbal spike at you. You're being incredibly selfish right now. The old you would stumble. No, I'm not. I did so much for you yesterday. I'm just tired. Defensive, weak, reactive. Now imagine the Machiavellian approach. They call you selfish. You look at them. You hold eye contact. You don't blink. You keep your face completely neutral. You let the silence hang for 5 seconds. In that silence, a psychological vacuum forms. The human brain is terrified of silence during conflict. It signals that you are not playing the game. When you stay silent, you are forcing them to sit in the tension they created. Usually, they will crumble. They will start defending themselves against your silence. The power has flipped. This is the gray rock method weaponized. You become a void, and you cannot punch mist. Machiavelli knew that the most powerful person is the one who cannot be read. If you defend, you reveal your buttons. Silence reveals nothing. Sometimes, however, the situation requires words, but never defensive ones. If you must speak, use conversational aikido. There is a concept called agree and amplify. If someone calls you greedy, don't deny it. Lean into it. You caught me. I actually swim in a vault of gold coins every Tuesday. It's terrible for my back. By turning their serious attack into a joke, you establish that you are the one framing reality. It signals amused mastery, the attitude of a parent watching a toddler throw a tantrum. You don't argue with the toddler because you know you are safe. In every conflict, there is a judge and a defendant. The judge asks the questions, the defendant answers. The most lethal trick is to simply refuse the role of defendant and seize the role of judge. Answer a question with a question. Analyze their behavior instead of your own. If they ask why you're late, ask why your arrival time affects their mood so deeply. Put the spotlight back on them. This is not just a technique, it is a spiritual stance. Other people's perceptions of you are none of your business. Their disappointment is their responsibility to manage. When you defend, you are trying to carry their emotional baggage. Stop it. The ultimate defense is self-knowledge. Why does the attack hurt? Because they are touching a wound that is already there. You cannot shame a person who has already accepted themselves. If you know your own darkness, their arrows pass right through you. You are no longer a fortress that needs defending. You are the wind. For the next 7 days, play a game, no defense. No matter the accusation, you are forbidden from explaining yourself. If you are late, say, "I'm late." Do not give a reason. If someone misunderstands you, let them. Watch the confusion turn into respect. People are drawn to certainty, and nothing screams certainty louder than a person who feels no need to explain why they exist. Keep your mystery. Keep your power. Keep your silence.